Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Sunday night, which means it's trad beer night. And the beer we're going for tonight is from Suffolk. It's Southwold in particular. This one is from Adnams, Double Ghost IPA. And it may look familiar. It's been around a little while now. I've only just got around to trying it. It is a double dry hopped version of Ghost Ship. It's weighted at the same 5.2% ABV. It's available from similar sources. I picked this one up from Morrison's. And yeah, I like the artwork. I do love that kind of moody purple, blue ghost ship. Yeah, there's very little information on the bottle other than it says double dry hopping whips up a surge of tropical fruit and flashes, ladies and gents, of white grape, followed by a crack of rye spice. An interesting way to describe, flavours of tropical fruit, hints of white grape, and a smidgen of rye spice, a crack of rye spice. I'm going to have to use those in the future. Anyway, I've had many ghost ships over the years, and probably verging on as many of the ghost ship alcohol free. This is the first of a double dry hopped one that I will be sampling. So yeah, keep your eyes out for a future video on this one. I'm going to do a comparison between it, the regular ghost ship, and the alcohol free, just to see how they all fare in a side-by-side contest. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we think. So we're going to pour into my Lemmy glass. The pour is pale. Not too pale, so lovely gold actually. Clear as a bell. And a nice white head, one or two bubbles. Excusez-moi. Looks a nice beer, that. It really does. You've got clarity, colour, head. Looks superb. Looks absolutely superb. Let's see what it smells like. Does it smell as nice as regular Ghost Ship? Citrusy, yeah. Bright, zesty lemon, much like the regular Ghost Ship. Maybe a little more pithy? Maybe. We'll see in another week or so's time. Anyway, looks good, smells good. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. Body's excellent as always. Medium to medium heavy. The flavour is interesting, and I'll come to that in a minute. From memory, it's much smoother, much less bright than regular Ghost Ship, but we'll cover that in full detail next time you see this beer on the channel. But this one is balanced. It's malty, clearly. I say behind all those citrusy hops, of which it's slightly grapefruity, slightly pithy, mellow, really. It's not bright and zesty. It's not particularly bitter. It's a smooth, easy drinking beer. Yeah. The malt is really, for me, the standout here. And I normally love a double dry hopped beer. It gives a nice element of chew, an element of intensifying the hops. But this seems smoother, less in your face, less intense than I was expecting. That said, the bitterness is pleasant, ever so slightly resinous with that pith, and the finish is more malty than hoppy. The malt is really kind of pushing its nose in front in terms of the flavour depth. Unusual, did not expect it. Interesting. Didn't go how I thought it would. Anyway, Double Ghost IPA scoreboard of joy. Currently looks like so, void of anything. So let's fill it in as we always do with the red pen of judgment. So visually, it is a good looking beer. It's a nice deep golden colour, clear as a bell, and a nice white head to it. Looks alright, does it not? It does, yes. Looks like it should. So it's having a full point. The aroma is pleasant, it's hoppy, it's slightly pithy, slightly grapefruit led. There is lemon, but it doesn't seem as in your face as I was hoping. But yeah, it's nice. It just needs more. Just needs more. You give it 0.75. The body is spot. Excuse me, roast beef repeating. Yeah, medium to medium heavy. Carbonation is smooth. Overall mouthfeel is silky. Can't fault that in the slightest. The flavour. I like my IPAs bitter and hoppy. This one is pleasantly bitter. I say it's slightly pithy and resinous. Brings a nice... What's the word I'm looking for? A nice feeling in the mouth with that bitterness. It is, however, to my palate, not as hoppy as it could be. The malts are really quite powerful here, and they seem to be suppressing the hops. The double dry hopping has added an element of chew, but it hasn't really intensified the hop flavour like I often find in many double dry hopped beers. This one, I think, for me, needs more hops. It needs them to be in your face and very bright and fresh. This doesn't taste as bright and fresh as perhaps Ghost Ship should. And I know this is Double Ghost, but it's got the Ghost Ship DNA in it, and it's missing that DNA. For me, this one is a bit lacking. I'm going to go to 0.5. I did not expect to do that. I'm going to be honest. Perhaps I have fond memories of regular Ghost Ship. Again, that'll be another video comparing the two and the alcohol-free. Anyway, the finish. The finish for me is on par with the flavour. It's lacking that hop presence. It's lacking that bright, refreshing, citrusy hit. It's just missing it. It is just missing it. So I'm going to go down the middle again on the 0.5, which means we've got 3.75 out of 5 from me. So we go to the bonus points. It cannot have the full bonus because it did not get 5 out of 5. Would I buy it again? I'm going to do the comparison. So I'm going to say yes with a question mark for one time only, potentially. The value for money, it's about £2 in Morrison's, and I'm arguing on this one. I'm going to say no. It's not as good as it could be. Regular Ghost Ship, from memory, is better, but we'll test that memory out later on in a couple of weeks' time, or thereabouts. Anyway, 3.75 out of 5 with potentially 1 bonus point for good measure. So, this one, for me, well, if it's sink or swim, this particular Ghost Ship is going to sink. It's not as good as I was hoping. And that's a surprise from the boys and girls at Adnams because they make fantastic beer. Broadside is phenomenal. Ghost Ship is absolutely superb. The alcohol-free one was arguably the best alcohol-free beer at the time. And it's still a regular in my fridge and will continue to be for a very long time. But this one doesn't live up to my expectations. Doesn't happen very often. So yeah, we're going to leave it there and say that has been the beer. I've been me. Those down there are the buttons. You know exactly what to do with them by now. You got your like, comment, dislike, and subscribe. Choose any combination of them as you wish. And I'll see you again soon for another one. Bye for now.